I'm also just been thinking about skinny jabs today, and how I think it's hilarious that people in the fitness industry are finding them, again, annoyed by it, right? So you've got all these influencers and all these, you know, trainers, coaches, whatever, and they've all got asses like a roofer's nail bag, right? I have nothing against that, but for some reason they're against people doing this. They feel like they've cheated. They feel like they've taken a shortcut. And then we talk about the risk, and you know, there is risk to it. I've talked about this. There's definitely no metabolic free lunch. There's going to be some cost to this thing, and it's probably going to be like all the other stuff we've seen that so many years down the way. Oh, by the way, it does this, it does that. So be aware of that. There's no metabolic free lunch. However, I totally get it, because the alternative is being one of these gym freaks. It's being what I was. It's training every single day. It's getting up at R4 every single day. It's having all these fancy protocols and supplements and all these boxes you got to tick. It's an obsession. It's an addiction. It's a personality built around one thing. This physical thing where you kind of look the part, but you're actually less and less physically capable. Like the thing you see is like the more training like some athletic person does in the gym, the worse you get. Doesn't mean there's not a benefit to it. Doesn't mean that there's just enough that will have a positive impact. There certainly is. But we completely overdo it in the fitness industry, completely overdo it, and we actually make everyone worse movers. And you keep people like me who are treating people and massaging people and rehabbing people in a job. And it's like, that's the alternative to develop this obsession. You know, it's the training multiple times, it's getting up early, it's fasting, it's keto, it's supplements, it's cold plunges, it's high roxes, it's, you know, it's online trainers, it's apps, it's PTs, it's challenges, it's endless, man. That's the alternative. And I totally get why people are like, what, I just pay money and put this in me and that's all I have to do. Great. But I think it's funny. I do think it's funny that fitness people who will, you know, take a risk on gear, will take a risk on, you know, overtraining, undersleeping, under recovery, because we do see people dying, don't we? We're seeing it more now. Like people who have been fit, people who have been strong, and they're falling apart mentally and physically, and sometimes we'll lose it. And that's been the case for a long time, particularly in bodybuilding. You know, they die young, man. Being jacked and being big, it can be good for you, mentally and physically, but there's a limit, man. And all these studies that talk about muscle and longevity, they're talking about a little bit, you know? They're talking Brad Pitt in Fight Club. They're not talking about Ronnie Coleman in his prime. I admire it, it's cool, I'm glad it's out there, but that's not health, right? You know what I mean? And health's a very different story. It's about balance. So people getting the nicks in a twist about these jabs, but then look at all the unhealthy things we do in the gym world. And I think it's kind of funny, to be honest. But don't hate on people, man. They're just going a different way.